Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Welcome to Monday Magic, my favorite day of the week, where we do an intuitive energy reading on what's out there, what's going on, what's in the energy, and how are we experiencing it. So I always preface these videos with one, don't shoot the messenger. Two, if you are in the same vein or in a similar energy, you will experience energy similar to what I am experiencing. These videos are here for you so that you can hear someone else say, I'm feeling this too. And if you're not feeling this, that just means that you're in a different place, a different frequency, a different vibration. There are no good places or bad places to be, that we trust that where we are is perfect. And so this really is just about reminding you that you're not alone in this. And many times people are experiencing something similar or a few of the same things. And it gives us that sense of, okay, it's not just me. We're in this together. I'm not alone, right? So what's going on? We've got an eclipse tomorrow, which is awesome and amazing. Welcome to Scorpio season in general. So we've got Halloween coming up in about a week. The veil has been very, very thin this year. And so to have an eclipse in Scorpio about a week before Halloween, or I guess it is a week exactly, is very interesting and fascinating. The eclipse is also conjunct Venus. So to bring in the planet of love and romance and self-worth and abundance into the underworld, into the secrets and the depth of Scorpio, it's very fascinating to see how this is playing out. So I have mentioned in recent weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, that we had a bit of a slowdown or kind of a stuck feeling, and that I keep reassuring you that things are going to speed up, and they have started to do that. I started to feel that probably about Friday, I believe. And certainly significant pickup yesterday, Saturday, or I'm sorry, Saturday, not yesterday, and even into today, obviously with eclipse being tomorrow. It's a new moon, so there is still the feeling of darkness, right? That even with a regular full moon, I'm sorry, new moon, we can feel a bit of a slowdown. So it's interesting to have the slowdown of a traditional new moon combined with the speed up of an eclipse. And so there's kind of this interesting dichotomy going on with that energy. But I certainly have felt that the energies are picking up. There is speed and momentum coming, right? I'm almost sensing the coming of the speed, and that it is just starting to pick up. Things are starting to move. We did have a couple of planets go direct this month. I believe Pluto, Saturn, and Mercury have all gone direct this month. So that will provide some of this more external evidence of things moving. I will say what has come along with the sense of things starting to move is a bit of aggravation or agitation, and I don't mean that from a mood perspective, but even it's more of a cellular feeling. Being out in public and lots of crowds at the pumpkin farms and things of that nature. There's just a sense of agitation in the air. And what it makes me think of is like when a molecule is activated, right? It's energized, it becomes more active, and they can call that agitation in some cases. And so that's what really comes to mind. Lots of a sense of alarm bells or sirens going off, just a lot of activity, a lot of busyness starting to happen. And so the guidance that came through around that was just grounding, that there's a lot of energy that is coming through, and that it is never more important than now to put your feet on the ground. And I understand that we can ground by, having meditation and imagining our roots going into the ground, but there is no replacement, there is no substitute for literally physically putting our feet on the dirt. And that guidance was so specific, right? It came through in 4 different ways. It said grounding is beyond essential right now. Then it said we can either go higher. Oh, we cannot go higher without securing our foundation. And so by putting our feet on the ground, we are anchoring into the earth, which allows, I'm literally shaking my desk, which allows us to go up higher, that we are limited by how grounded we are. We are limited in our ability to ascend, to extend, to reach up into those higher realms of guidance or whatever it is that we're tapping into. We are limited in our height by how grounded we are. Then it also reminded me that trees often will have a root system underneath the ground as big as they do their treetop. And that's not always the case. Something like an avocado tree has a very small root base, but many trees, I believe it might be the maple especially, that they're as big below as they are above. And so that's a reminder to us to be that grounded, to be that connected to the earth. And then the fourth way it came through was you must have actual contact with dirt. That it's telling us that, my grounding pad on the floor or my grounding sheets on my bed, they're great, but it's not the same as literally physically putting my feet on the ground. And so that guidance could not be more clear and specific and strong for right now, that as we go into this eclipse season, we're in it now. Eclipse, first eclipse of 2 tomorrow. We'll have another in 2 weeks. So we're looking at a good 2 to 4, maybe even 6 week period of time of amplified energies. And of course, eclipse, I'm not getting into all the astrology here, but this is really about the energy and managing this season. So grounding and water, salt water, is also very important. Okay. So more of a sense of what we're working with, what we're being asked to do, what's coming through energetically. And I have had a strong sense, as well as lots of inputs or messages coming in different ways around preparation. That we've talked about this in recent weeks as well, but the messages continue that we must get ready, we must prepare. Purging, releasing, and the pruning process that I was talking about last week is really critical in this moment of preparation. That, as we say, release the things that no longer serve you. It kind of has been said so many times, we kind of like, yeah. We're always doing that. That is part of the reason why we can be dismissive of it, is because we're always doing that. But the guidance is really lighten your load. That the purging and the releasing, the pruning that is happening right now is so that we can rise up, so that we are lighter, so that we can ascend into these higher levels of energy and frequency and vibration, and which, inadvertently comes with mood and satisfaction and fulfillment and happiness. That if we have to imagine, this is interesting how this came through, imagine the thing that you are clinging to, whether it's an addiction or a thought habit. Many times, most often, it is something in the mind that is, the ego and the thought processes and the habitual thinking that we can have, whether it's negative thinking or lack mentality or trauma. Imagine this thing that you're clinging to, that it's a physical thing, and it's sitting here between you and what you want. So imagine the thing that you want is here, but the thing that you're clinging to is here. And the guidance was, would you choose this thing or would you choose this thing? Because it's going to be difficult to get rid of this, to really let go of the thing that we're clinging to. But it's easier when we keep our eyes on the goal, and this thing that I want is so much bigger and better than this thing that I'm clinging to. It becomes a kind of a no duh kind of choice, right? Of course I want to get rid of that thing. Let me go for the ultimate goal, right? The dream, the purpose, the fulfillment, service, whatever it is that you desire. And if the thing you desire is more of a physical, maybe I want my dream home, I'd love my dream relationship, I'd love the spa and the healing center and the schools and all these things, right? My vision board right there. If I imagine this thing, let's say it's coffee, I don't want to let go of my coffee, but it's between coffee or my vision board. It's a no duh, right? Let me get rid of the coffee real quick. And so it's reminding us that if we're not willing to let go of this thing that we're being asked to prune out of our lives, we're making a choice. It's a conscious choice to choose coffee over my dream home or my dream relationship or, my purpose. So of course, then it becomes easy. I don't want that coffee anymore, right? It's the guidance was also asking, who are you being asked to become? Who is the divine asking you to become right now? And I did a video recently on a tip around manifestation. I forget exactly what it was called, but it's around alignment. I think alignment was in the name of the video, so if you search alignment, that should come up. But as we are visualizing, it's not just about seeing it in our mind's eye. That's one of the recommendations. They also suggest live as if, or feel it, right? When emotion is the source of creation, all of those things are true. But what we're doing is we're aligning to who we are in that vision. So if I want my dream house, my dream relationship, and my life purpose to take off, I need to envision and step into and align to and become, right, align to the emotion, align to the frequency, align to the vibration of who I am in that place that has already accomplished those things. Right? And so the divine is asking you to ask yourself, who are you being asked to become? Again, am I a coffee drinker? Or am I pure and clean and everything that I put in my body is 100% supportive of my body and in no way holds me back from being in alignment with that version of myself? So, really get intimate with who the divine is asking you to become. Your highest self, right? As I start these videos, so that you can live your best life, your best self, fully self-actualized, right? Christ-like. Who are you being asked to become? And what is it that needs to be let go of to become that person? And what's really fascinating is, especially if you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, it can be really easy, and even sometimes it's a trauma response, right? We decide, oh, I'm going to get physically fit, and so we go buy all the stuff and we do all the things, and then we kind of burn out because we dove so heavily in and we didn't take it step by step to ease into the process and fully integrate all of these things. And so that's where we can kind of take a step back and get clear on who we're being asked to become, and identify the baby steps, right? The mini habits that are going to get us there, so that it is a slow process of easing into this, so that it's sustainable and it's not something that we burn out. Okay. And then the next recommendation was keep your eyes on the divine, right? Keep your eyes on God, source, creator, divine, universe, whatever term you want to use, or rose by any other name still smells as sweet. But when you know that you are connecting to the source of all that is, right? The infinite field of potential, consciousness, right? Consciousness is in you, it's all around you, it's in everything, right? Keep your eyes on that. Stay connected, always be connected, ABC, right? That we have the ability to have two trains of thought because part of us is meant to always be connected, to always have our eyes on our source, our creator, right? Have faith in the process. That is probably going to come through in every one of these videos because it is ultimately the highest priority, is just faith. It is that doubt that is a block. It is the resistance that is the block. The faith is the opening up, the allowing, the receiving, the magnetizing. The disbelief is the block, is the masculine, is the resistance, is what keeps you from magnetizing, right? Remember that it's not going to happen on our timeline. It probably never will. And this can actually bring us hope. This can relieve some of that pressure that happens when we are in resistance to the way things are happening, when we get in that frustration and that it makes me think of like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum, like, fine, it's never going to happen, I quit, right? Like, we are in the waiting room. We are in the waiting room waiting for divine timing. And there's two factors that are important in the waiting room. One is aligning to who you are being asked to become. Because if you don't become that person, you will not take the next step. You will not be granted the open door to the next phase until you have graduated from the lesson or the becoming that you have been tasked with. And then there's divine timing. If you have done the work, if you have become who you've been asked to become, if you have purged and pruned all the things that you were asked to let go of, you're fully self-actualizing as best as you can in this current state, but you're still in the waiting room, then it's divine timing. It's the collective whole coming along. It's all of the rest of us doing the work to become who we've been asked to become. It's up to the alignment of all of the different factors that are necessary to be lined up before we can move into the next phase. And so when we're in the waiting room, I was given the image of like a bride getting ready for her groom. That there's something beautiful and amazing coming for us. Our dreams are coming true. They are coming. So long as we don't quit, by, throwing the 2-year-old tantrum of, it's not happening. Right? Imagine like the little kid pounding their feet on the floor. I want my stuff now. Right? If we are patiently waiting, we've done what we've been asked to do, and we're still in the waiting room. It's our job to keep oil in the lamp, to be prepared when our groom finally comes, to get ready and to stay vigilant, right? Taking care of yourself, taking care of your physical needs, taking care of your emotional needs, meeting your own needs until there is an external manifestation of whatever that next phase is. And so the recommendation was very strong. It says give extra special attention and care to the physical body over the next few days and weeks. And I think that goes back to the grounding. That's how it feels to me, is that the physical body is dealing with a lot of intensity. I always feel like my finger's stuck in a light socket when we're in eclipse season. There's a lot happening. Things are moving very quickly. It requires a lot of physical stamina to keep up with the pace of life. And so we need to nurture our physical vessel, make sure that we're grounding. Take saltwater baths if you can use Himalayan salt. I'm hearing that's a better recommendation than Epsom salt. Even if you just drink salt water, that can also help support the body. I did a video on how to actually hydrate your body, that just plain water is not enough, that we need a little bit of electrolytes, which are basically minerals or salts, and sugar, fruit sugar, ideally. Not cooked, not pasteurized, but fresh squeezed, even if that's just a lemon. So really take care of the body. Understand, especially if you're a vegan, are you getting enough calcium? Are you getting enough iron? Are you getting, right? So look at, I'm not a big proponent of calorie tracking or food tracking necessarily, but I have done it for a couple of weeks to understand what are my vitamin levels? Am I getting all of the nutrition that I need? And there's an app that is really excellent for doing that. It's Chronometer. Free app. I should be on all of the different phones, but Chronometer is excellent for showing you all of the different nutrition factors that you want to pay attention to. And I did find that, when I was not eating any animal products of any kind, that I was short on calcium. So a calcium supplement was extremely helpful. So look at those factors that you need to consider to take care of your body and nourish your body, and support your physical being as well as your emotional being through all of this process, which of course brings to mind cleansing, purification. I do have videos on cleansing as well as protection. If you feel the need to cleanse all of your bodies, right? We need to be aware of not just the physical body, but the spiritual body, the energetic body, the emotional body. All of these bodies require maintenance, just like we brush our teeth or we work out. We need to be taking care of all of our different bodies. So definitely check those videos out as well. Okay. I believe that is all for today. I love you guys. Please do make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you have not yet already, click this button to subscribe. Otherwise, this video is picked based on your preferences. All right. Take care, my friends. Have a fabulous day.